Good morning, class. Now we are going to start with indices. Indices involve some laws. There are some laws of indices that we need to be acquainted with. If not, it's going to be very difficult for us to deal with. So we start with the first law. The first law is known as product law. What it states is that if you have a base and a par multiplying the same base but different par, then it becomes, you pick one of the par since they are the same, and the power you had. That is, because of the multiplication sign that's in between, what the first law says is that you pick one of the base and you add the power together. That's the first law. Second law. If you have the same base, the same thing as this, example 1, but now in between them, instead of multiplication, is now division. The same thing. You pick one of the base and you subtract the power. Meaning that the first law is that if it is multiplication, you add the power, while if it is division, you subtract the power. Now, the third law. What this one means is that n raised to power 0 is going to give you 1. That is, anything raised to power 0 is 1. For example, 100 raised to power 0 is also 1. X raised to power 0 is also 1. A raised to power 0 is also 1. N raised to power 0 is what? 1. That's what this third law is telling us. Now, the fourth law. Now, anytime you have a number raised to power negative power, this negative will become 1, and you now bring down the A and the power. That is, what this law is telling us is that if you are to eliminate this negative here, this negative turns to 1, and you divide it by the base raised to power, the power x. That's what this fourth law is telling us. The fifth law. If you have a fraction raised to power a negative power, what this law says is that in order to eliminate this negative, you reciprocate what you have inside the bracket. That is, the denominator becomes the numerator, and the numerator becomes denominator, like this. This is the fifth law. Now, the sixth law says that if you have two expressions multiplying each other raised to power x, if you are to expand this expression here on the board, if you are to expand it, each of them will carry the power times b raised to power x. That is, each of the a and b will carry the power. The same thing if it is division and you are to open the bracket, each of them will carry the power. This is the seventh law. Now, the eighth law. If you have a base raised to power fraction, that is, the power now is in the form of a fraction, what this law states is that the denominator, that is the denominator of that power, becomes the root. It becomes the root of your base, and the numerator becomes the power. That is, you are going to have white root of a raised to power x. So, based on these 8 laws of indices, we'll be looking at different examples based on these 8 laws. The laws of indices are not actually more than these as far as this class is concerned. Thank you.